High school baseball and softball with Big Z Sports and WJER Radio in partnership with Claxon Communications is brought to you by Dover Break, your local Wendy's restaurants, Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, Kemp Insurance, the ECO Educational Service Center, T-County Boxing Academy, and Dumont's. Special thanks to our scoreboard sponsor, your local McDonald's restaurants, and to Subway, sponsor of the WJER Subway Player of the Game. Now let's go live to the field for all of today's play-by-play action. Here are your announcers.
Good Wednesday afternoon and welcome to WJER and Big Z Sports continuing coverage of high school softball for the 2025 season. I'm Bill Morgan, joined by Ricky Neff today. New Philadelphia on the road in Steubenville to take on a very talented Big Red team. And Ricky, before we talk about both these teams, we would be remiss if we did not talk about this facility. It is beautiful.
It's a pretty impressive facility. It said 2 years old up here, sitting in a brand new press box. Turf field all around, turf infield, turf outfield. Great dugouts. What a great place for a softball game.
And over our shoulders is the high school baseball field, which is basically a very similar setup.
Yeah, it was beautiful. We checked that out right before the game, too.
Coming up, both these teams doing battle. Steubenville, the higher seed. That's the reason they are playing at home. New Philadelphia on the road. Ricky, you've had a chance to see Coach Dumpke's team a number of times this year. What are their strengths headed into this game?
Yeah, I mean, their strengths are, we got a couple hitters in the middle of the lineup that can really crank the ball. Allie Mason's down there, sitting there. Good pitching from Jillian Howard all season here. And, great center fielder out there with Easton Miller, who's a slapper for them and going to be key in the middle of their lineup for them, or top of their lineup here for them today.
Our coverage of this game being brought to you by great sponsors all across Tuscarawas County, including joining us for tournament time, the great folks at Sammy Sue's Barbecue in Dover. That sounds good. A big plate of that, Ricky, split between us so we could eat between innings during commercials.
Yeah, I would take some wings and some pulled pork right now. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah, get us a little bit fired up for the game. So thanks to the folks at Sammy Sue's. Also, Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, along with Dover Break and Kemp Insurance. Coming up as a Wednesday afternoon edition, the pregame show continues. We'll tell you about the Big Red and their talented team playing on their home field today. It's all on the way with the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley.
This is Christine from Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, your trained comfort specialist located in downtown Dover. In the dead of winter or the dog days of summer, we're here for you 24/7 with friendly, personal attention and honest, affordable service. And right now, our customers will receive a free duct cleaning with a qualifying system. Call me for details. So if you've been considering installing a new HVAC system, now is the time to act. Call me, Christine, at 330-343-5511. Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, your comfort on call since 1981.
This is Nathan Kemp with Kemp Insurance. Contact us today for all your auto, home, farm, and commercial insurance needs. We're proud to have been your local hometown agents for over 35 years and look forward to helping you see the difference local agents can make for you. Kemp Insurance on East High Avenue in New Philadelphia.
This is Don Kemp with Kemp Insurance. Whether it's repair work from a fender bender, the after effects of a powerful storm, or a life-changing moment like a house fire, Kemp Insurance is here to provide unmatched customer service. Kemp Insurance, your local hometown agents for over 35 years.
Family owned and operated for more than 50 years, Dover Brake specializes in sales and service of everything involving automotive and heavy-duty brakes, along with a vast selection of truck parts and accessories. They also offer alignment, custom U-bolt bending, industrial sandblasting, bonding, and more. And now, you can find the parts you're searching for with a complete in-store inventory updated regularly at DoverBrakeInc.com. Safely shop and pay online and have your purchase delivered, or pick it up at Dover Brake, Route 250 in Strasburg, online at DoverBrakeInc.com.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, Junior Hot and Crispy Fries, and small soft drink is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Unlimited time does not mean forever. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California and via third-party delivery. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
The Quakers and the Big Red from Steubenville, about 5 minutes away from first pitch. And, Ricky, as we get ready for this game, you look at the stats for Steubenville, and their starting pitcher not only outstanding, but dominant in the circle in terms of she's thrown the vast majority of their innings this year.
Certainly she has, and 13-2 on the year for her this year, and she has 98 strikeouts so far this year and has been their go-to all season. So look forward to seeing her on the mound today.
The weather outlook for Steubenville as we get ready to head toward first pitch. Cloudy skies. There is a slight chance of rain between now and 7 o'clock, but so far we had one somewhere in the Cadiz area, which of course you have to bypass to get here. We had a little bit of rain, Ricky, but since we've got into Jefferson County, so far so good.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have good weather. Hopefully it holds out here, and the field obviously perfect. Don't have to worry about weather too much on turf out here, so hopefully it's a good night for softball.
The winners, of course, advancing on to the next round of the tournament. And what we've seen as virtually all of the sports have expanded to 7 divisions. And you get into these sectional district matchups, it's kind of been the same, Ricky, in terms of you've got New Philadelphia, you've got Dover, you've got Steubenville, Tri-Valley, and Zanesville as these tournaments get underway.
Yeah, certainly, and you know, our region, we've played many of those teams that are already here in the regular season, so, this should be a fun matchup tonight for the Quakers here, playing somebody different. We played Tri-Valley earlier in the season and Dover here, so this, good contest prepares for where we're at tonight.
Speaking of Dover, and while I know if you're locked into this broadcast, you're saying, what are you talking about Dover for? We're quick. And I understand that. That's fine. But it's important because Dover taking on Tri-Valley, and we'll see how that goes for the team across the river.
For sure, yeah. And it should be a good matchup down here tonight. I think everybody's prepared. Nice bus trip down. Looks like everybody's ready to roll pretty soon.
Coming up after the game, Ricky and I will select a Subway player of the game. Subway with locations in New Philadelphia, Dover, Strasburg, Uhrichsville, and all across the area. Subway, find your fresh. Other great sponsors of tonight's action in softball tournament play, Dumont Sporting Goods, along with Keim Home Center and the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency. We'll come back and check our starting lineups for both the Quakers and Steubenville. That's next here on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley.
Commercial building owners, how well do you keep your roof maintained? At Rightmark Roofing, we offer our Bullseye Maintenance Program to building owners to help keep your roof healthy. This includes our 21-point inspection that examines all the essential areas of your roof that require year-round maintenance, a detailed report on the health and status of your roof, priority service that moves you to the front of the line, and discounts that reduce the risk of expensive repairs. Give us a call at 330-275-0088 or visit our website at rightmarkroofing.com to learn more.
Dumont Sporting Goods in Dover and Canton has just what you're looking for, so your athlete has the best gear for the sports they play. Dumont's has a large apparel selection and can handle your customized screen printing as well as embroidery for your team or business. For sporting goods and for all your apparel needs, Dumont Sporting Goods in Dover and Canton has everything you want to play and look your best. Sammy Sue's Barbecue on Front Street in Dover offers a menu full of house-smoked meats, including choices like ribs, chicken, steak, and pork. Sammy Sue's takes pride in knowing that everything on their menu is made fresh in their kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Sammy's also offers a variety of specials all week long, including the popular wing nights every Tuesday and Thursday. Find Sammy Sue's Barbecue on Facebook for a full list of daily specials and everything they have to offer.
Big moments are coming. Are you ready? If you need sponsor banners, graduation programs, or yard sale signs, the East Central Ohio Print Center has you covered. Visit ecoprintcenter.org. And if you've got a new driver in the house, East Central Ohio ESC offers flexible driver's education with in-car training and online options. Scholarships are available from signs to steering wheels. The East Central Ohio Educational Service Center is here to help. Find out more today online at ecoesc.org.
Bill Morgan and Ricky Neff from Steubenville at an outstanding high school softball facility. For those of you who maybe followed the Quakers when they had tournament play at Harrison Central a couple of years ago, this layout very, very similar to the Harrison Central softball complex as well. As you can probably hear, the public address announcer talking about the starting lineups. We're going to let Ricky give you the starters for the Black and Red of New Philadelphia.
Yeah, starting off first for the Quakers, number 22, Sydney Vandal is going to start out at shortstop for us here. Number 55, Easton Miller out in center field. Number 21, Ellie Mason at third base. Number 9, Reese Loveday at catcher. Number 10, Sarah Cardani at second base. Number 2, Zoe DeVore out in right field. Number 11, Olivia Jackson at first base. Number 25, Kylie Jones, our DP player. And number 15, Jillian Howard is at the pitcher's mound here tonight. And we got Marissa Roth out in left field.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time,
we'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll check the starters for Steubenville right here on the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley.
We invite you to discover Keim Home Center in Charm, Ohio. Keim is your destination for all things home, building, and woodworking. From renovation and building projects to custom millwork needs, our team of experts work with both homeowners and professionals to bring your vision to life. Visit Keim Home Center in Charm or online at keimhome.com. Keim, built on trust since 1911.
Hi, I'm Zach Motice with the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency. For all your auto, home, farm, and business insurance needs, contact our team at the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency. Or stop in and see us at one of our 3 locations in downtown New Philadelphia, Sugar Creek, or in Strasburg, providing excellent service to the Tuscarawas Valley since 1885. Everyone here at the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency would like to wish all area athletes good luck this season.
The Eat Fresh Refresh just won't stop. Now Subway is refreshing their catering with easy order platters and box meals perfect for any occasion. Start with sandwich or wrap platters. They're loaded with craveable crowd pleasers to feed your crew without all the work. Or try individually packaged box meals featuring a tasty 6-inch sub, footlong, or wrap, plus chips and a freshly baked cookie. When you have a group to feed, make it fun, delicious, and easy with catering from Subway. Visit Subway.com to place your catering order. Advance notice may be required.
This is Christine from Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, your trained comfort specialist located in downtown Dover. In the dead of winter or the dog days of summer, we're here for you 24/7 with friendly, personal attention and honest, affordable service. And right now, our customers will receive a free duct cleaning with a qualifying system. Call me for details. So if you've been considering installing a new HVAC system, now is the time to act. Call me, Christine, at 330-343-5511. Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, your comfort on call since 1981.
High school softball about ready to get underway today. New Philadelphia doing battle with Steubenville, the starters for the Big Red. Leading off, the second baseman, number 3, Sophia Zorni. Batting in the 2-hole right field, number 5, Addison Meyer. Batting number 3, wearing 0, the center fielder, Seda Smith. In the cleanup spot, number 15, third baseman, Sadie Edwards. Number 2, the shortstop, Paige Madison. The catcher, number 14, Sagan Smarella. Number 24, Riley Zorni, playing first base. Yes, she is the sister of the other Zorni, Sophia, that is leading off for the Big Red. The designated player batting 8th, number 23, Emily Tuttle, and batting 9th in left field, number 7, Gina Smith. The pitcher is number 27, Isabella Cadill. Home plate meeting continuing between both teams' head coaches. You always kind of wonder, Ricky, well, at least I do, maybe you don't, but what exactly are they discussing, especially at a field like this where I don't think there's anything real tricky, perhaps, as to what the ground rules are?
Just probably out of play if there's any fences or anything that are open during the game, so just to be aware, close up gates, get all that stuff shored up. But, yeah, not too much probably to talk about in this facility.
McDonald's, whether you're looking for a quick bite to eat or a new career, our local McDonald's want to meet you. Download the app for big savings or stop in and fill out an application. And Ricky, I think most people know you are the principal for now at Weldy Middle School, soon to be the athletic director. I was quizzing you before the broadcast started. How many days left in school?
Well, there are 10 days left. I knew that, but I didn't know what the exact last date was for school. So, we're in the short game now. We got our 8th graders off to Washington, D.C. this morning, and had our last honors breakfast with our 6th graders this morning here, too. So starting to get all those end-of-the-year wrap-up things going.
That for sure. And when we look at these two teams, Steubenville's had a very good year, and like I mentioned, a couple of years back, these same two teams played as the tournament got underway, and that was before they were allowing teams to host home games, and certainly we see that now with the OHSAA having expanded. We were mentioning growing divisions in terms of 7 divisions, so there will be 7 state champions crowned up at Akron's Firestone Stadium in about 3 weeks. 7 state champs in baseball. Speaking of baseball, if you're a Quaker fan, huge game today for Tyler Weisel's team as they play at Lexington. The baseball team still battling for at least a share of the OCC championship, and their game that got rained out with Lex yesterday will be played tomorrow at Tuscarora Park.
Yeah, they got a good stretch to finish out the season here for them. Still in that competition for the OCC, which is huge. That'd be fantastic for the Quakers to be able to shore up one of our maybe first OCC championships, maybe in baseball.
So we will see how all of that plays out. And as things stand now, it's Lex today at Lex, tomorrow at home. Then they're going to make up the game they missed with Worcester coming up on Saturday. By the way, did you know that at Tuscarora Park, Field 1, it is played right in the sight line of Rod Miller Way?
All the time. I mean, he is out there daily checking things out, seeing the progress.
I thought he was retired.
Well, he is, but after 78 years at the park, he's still there every single day.
Well, and the other thing is, even if he wanted to not come to the park, I think his wife would probably kick him out the front door over on Moore and send him over.
Well, his car has cruise control. It only goes 2 places that I know of, and the park is one of them.
And we won't get into what the other one is, although if you know Rod, you know. So we're waiting for Steubenville to take to the field. They are wearing their home whites with black numbers trimmed in red New Philadelphia with their dark-colored black Quaker jerseys. Head coach John Dupke will be down at the third base coaching box. And with this being the early rounds of the tournament, now if you get deeper into the tournament, you'll have 3 umpires out on the field. Today, still just 2 making the calls. Kelly Ryan and Ron Gable today here in Jefferson County. Leading off for the Quakers, talented senior Sidney Vandal, and while we don't know the scenario for the Big Red, the seniors for New Philadelphia, they're done with school.
Yeah, yesterday was their last day at the high school. Now they just got exams the next 3 days and then some graduation practice and shoring up all the rest of the stuff they've got to do, some walkthroughs, and they'll be visiting the elementary schools next week here, so the kids always get excited to see all those seniors who are on the way out.
And, of course, all the parents are saying to themselves, I can remember when Sydney or the other senior, when she was leaving for the first day of kindergarten.
For sure.
And now, here you go. Sydney Vandal to lead things off. Where's number 22 on the back of that black Quaker jersey, white letters and numbers trimmed in red. The pitcher, Isabella Cadill, and she's a right-hander. The first pitch of the afternoon. Down low for a ball. 220 feet down the left field and right field lines. 220 as well to the power alleys. The next pitch off the plate, outside ball to 230 feet to straightaway center. Defensively for the Big Red, Sadie Edwards at third, Paige Madison at short, Sophia Zorni at second, and Riley Zorni at first. The ball hit pretty deep into center field, and that'll go all the way to the wall, off the glove of the center fielder Smith, and Sydney Vandal hustling into second with a leadoff double for the Quakers.
That was a great hit right over the center of the plate. Took that one right out to center field. The center fielder just couldn't quite get there.
kind of raised up and got a glove on it. It kind of deflected off the top of her glove and rolled to the wall. Sydney hustling all the way around to second base. Easton Miller batting in the 2 spot. Very talented athlete.
Yeah, also a wrestler here. Had a great wrestling career there, or great wrestling season this year.
Only a sophomore. First pitch, a called strike on the outside corner. Ricky, we did this the last time you and I did Quaker softball. Somebody says, hey, she's a slap hitter. What does that mean for those who don't know?
So she's going to step back towards the pitcher to try and take the ball where she wants to take it out here. So you see how she kind of works her way through the front of the batter's box there.
Second pitch, sailing high for a ball. We gave it the Big Red starters in the infield. In the outfield and left, Gina Smith in center, and Addison Meyer in right. Cattle's 1-1 pitch. Outside corner for a called strike, 1-2. So Cadill steps to the back of the circle, waiting to get back onto the rubber and have the sign flashed to her by her battery mate, Sagan Smarella. The next pitch missing out of zone, ball 2, so the count even on the left-handed hitting Easton Miller at 2-2. Easton stepping out of that left-handed box. Couple of practice swings. Vandal out at second. The 2-2 pitch, that's fouled back and out of play as the count stays at 2-2. Well, certainly a good way to start for Coach Dupke and company. Vandals lead off double. Top of the first inning, no score yet. The next pitch way outside, and nice job by Smarella behind the plate to not let that ball go to the backstop.
Yeah.
The count now full.
Good movement by the catcher there to stop that and to stop Vandal from advancing.
Cadill checking in and ready with the 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. So the first 2 Quakers have reached. Vandal with the leadoff double and Miller with the walk. That'll bring third baseman and senior Ellie Mason to the plate.
Ellie Mason leading the Quakers on the year. She's got 8 home runs, hitting .508 on the season. So, one of our best hitters here coming up.
Ellie going to play college softball at Ohio Northern. First pitch down. And normally you would say in the dirt, but the entire playing surface here in Steubenville is turf. Ellie toward the front part of that right-handed batter's box. 2 on, nobody out, top of the first. The 1-0 pitch fouled back as the count goes even at 1-1. By the way, in case you were wondering how the Guards did today, about as good as the Cavs did last night. They got hammered by the Brewers today 9-5. Game that was tied early on, 2-2, but then the Brewers got their bats booming. The next pitch, grounded up the middle. They step on second, 1 out there, throw back to first.
Zorni gets the out at second base.
And they say that Mason beat the throw down to first. And a bang-bang play, Vandal advancing to third. So Mason reaching on the fielder's choice, first and third, 1 out as the catcher, Reese Loveday, comes to the plate.
Another one of our good hitters here. She's been having a great season as well. Hitting .467, I believe.
Cadill ready to do battle with Reese Loveday. Reese, right-handed swinger, nice rip, but foul down the right field line. Well, certainly Cadill very talented, and when you've got a chance, you don't want to, she's not on the ropes, but when you've got a chance to score, you better take advantage of it.
Certainly in these big games right here.
There's a fly ball into fairly deep center. Smith tagging Vandal will score on the sacrifice fly. So the Quakers get on the scoreboard first and lead it 1-0 on the Reese Loveday sacrifice fly to center.
Good start for the Quakers here. Got another runner at first here. Sarah Cardani coming up the plate.
The Quakers do take advantage and hoping to do more damage with 2 outs, top of the first inning. Cardani, like most of the Quakers, a right-handed hitter. Mason at first, the next pitch. Fly ball, short right field. The second baseman coming over and just in fair territory. Sophia Zorni makes the catch. But the Quakers score once in the top of inning number 1. Headed into the bottom of the first. New Philadelphia 1, Steubenville coming to bat on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley.
This is Nathan Kemp with Kemp Insurance. Contact us today for all your auto, home, farm, and commercial insurance needs. We're proud to have been your local hometown agents for over 35 years and look forward to helping you see the difference local agents can make for you. Kemp Insurance on East High Avenue in New Philadelphia.
This is Don Kemp with Kemp Insurance. Whether it's repair work from a fender bender, the after effects of a powerful storm, or a life-changing moment like a house fire, Kemp Insurance is here to provide unmatched customer service. Kemp Insurance, your local hometown agents for over 35 years.
High school tournament softball on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley. New Philadelphia in the top of the first inning, scoring once on the Reese Loveday sacrifice fly to center that scored Sydney Vandal, who led off the game for the Quakes with a double.
It was a great start. Got her in scoring position right away and were able to advance her to third base and then sac fly out to center field there, scored her.
Jillian Howard in the circle for the Quakers. Been their number 1 pitcher throughout the course of the year.
Leading off for
and certainly in any game, but specifically at tournament time when you have a lead before you head out for your first go-round in the circle, gives you a little bit of extra confidence.
Certainly does. Jillian's had 82 Ks on the year, and hopefully we can build on that today here a little bit.
The second baseman, Sophia Zorni, to lead things off for the Big Red. She hits from the left side. Pitch high and inside for a ball. For the Quakers, defensively, Ellie Mason at third, Sydney Vandal at short, Sarah Cardani at second, and Olivia Jackson at first. And Zorni asking for time, feeling like she waited long enough, got time, now climbs back in, 1-0. Howard ready, and the pitch, that's inside, ball 2. The Quakers defensively in the outfield from left to right. Marissa Roth, Easton Miller in center, and Zoe DeVore in right. The 2-0 pitch, a swing and a miss. So 2-1, the Quakes have Reese Loveday behind the plate and Jillian Howard in the circle. The 2-1 pitch, apparently a little bit high, ball 3, 3-1.
Reese getting the call from over Coach Dubke down here, and she signals everything in out to Jillian. Jillian's set to go.
The 3-1 pitch, called strike. Now, one of the things you see, especially in softball, and I believe the umpires are trained or instructed to do this way, they tend to have delayed strike calls. The 3-2 pitch fouled back third base side off the screen. So you might see and you don't think it's a strike, and then they'll raise that right hand, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, some of these pitchers can really move the ball around. It's all over the zone, and give them a second to process it.
Howard ready, the 3-2 pitch. Line foul and out of play down the third base line. Quakers dugout on that third base line. Steubenville, the home team, on the first base line. Once again, Howard ready and deals the 3-2. That ball popped up. Vandal backpedaling, and it goes off her glove. That'll squeak down the left field line, trying to get to third. And now the throw back to second, not going to be in time. So the two-base error on Vandal will allow Zorni to reach, and I'm sure Sydney would be the first one to tell you, I should have had that.
Yeah, right off the tip of her glove, just moving to her right here across the field, and just didn't play it real well. Normally a pretty sure-handed player out there, so not typical.
Now batting for Big Red, right fielder, number 5.
Although it happens in different ways, both teams with their leadoff runners in the first inning getting to second base. Addie Meyer, the right fielder, to the plate. Howard goes to step onto the rubber, then steps off. The catcher, Loveday, again glancing toward the Quaker dugout to get the sign. Showing bunt was Meyer, pulled the bat back. Hits a ball. 1-0. Bill Morgan, Ricky Neff, happy to have you along for Quakers softball on the Big Z Sports Network.
She's all the way up in the front of that box here. Let's see if she tries to bunt the ball again.
Shows bunt and again pulls the bat back as the pitch from Howard sails inside. And Ricky, really, she couldn't get any closer to the front of that box. Her left heel is on the line, which you are allowed to do, but it can't be out of the box. Howard's 2-0 pitch. Again, that ball bunted, and then it hit her.
Runner is out.
And, yeah, because the ball hit in fair territory and then hit Meyer.
Now batting number 0, center fielder.
And certainly that is a benefit for the Quakers because, A, they get the out, and B, which may actually be A in this case, Zorni does not advance to third.
Yeah, that was huge right there. They've been trying to advance her.
Cena Smith, the center fielder, to the plate. Howard ready to face her. The first pitch, a little bit low for a ball. Quakers scored a run in the top of inning number 1, lead 1-0. The Big Red with their first at bat. And they'll go around with pitcher Jillian Howard. The 1-0 pitch, called strike at the knees on the inside corner, 1-1. The next pitch, called strike again at the inside corner and just above the knees, 1-2. So Jillian doing a solid job so far, throwing strikes. The 1-2 pitch, line drive into right field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. DeVore fires it back into the infield. Now the throw back to third base. Not going to be in time to be getting Zorni, who dives back into the third. Took a pretty big turn around that third base bag.
Yeah, she was looking to score right there. Quakers, good job getting the ball in from out there in right field quickly.
Now to bring the cleanup hitter, number 15, third baseman, Sadie Edwards.
Sadie Edwards has 9 home runs on the year. They're leading home run hitter here, so not who you want to see up at the plate right now.
Runners on first and third for Steubenville. 1 out, bottom of the first inning. Howard ready in her pitch. A strike and stealing second without the benefit of a throw. Cena Smith, so now 2 runners in scoring position for Steubenville. The pitch was a called strike. The 0-1 high and outside for ball 1. Big Z Sports and the sports voice of the Valley. Thanking some of our many partners. There's a line drive, foul and out of play down the left field line as the count on Edwards goes to 1-2, but Sammy Sue's Barbecue in Dover. Time of the year where they get that patio open. You can go out there and plop down and enjoy some of that great Sammy Sue's. The 1-2 pitch, a little bit off the plate outside, ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Edwards climbing back into the box. Howard getting the signal in the circle in the 2-2 pitch. A swing and a miss. So 2 outs in the inning.
Now batting
Steubenville yet to score, but they do have runners at second and third. As the shortstop, Paige Madison, comes to the plate. So Howard and her teammates trying to get out of some bottom of the first inning trouble. First pitch, a called strike to Madison. Long brown ponytail coming out of the back of that Steubenville batting helmet to the top of her number 2 on her back. The next pitch, a swing and a miss. So Howard's been cooking here in the first inning.
Yeah, very efficient so far.
Given up, yes, there are runners in second and third, but she's given up only one hit and struck out one. The big 0-2 pitch, fouled off and out of play, first base side. Sophia Zorni at third, reached on the air to begin the inning. Cena Smith out at second after singling and stealing a base. The next pitch, hit on the ground to Vandal, bobbles it, and can't make the play. So Zorni will score, and it's something, honestly, you just don't see too often is Vandal struggling with the glove, and she has here in the first inning. 1-1, Steubenville and New Philadelphia. Sagan Smarella, the catcher for Steubenville, coming to the plate. First pitch, missing, downstairs for a ball. Well, and certainly in any softball game, but especially at tournament time, you can't really give up extra outs, which is kind of what happened.
Dead ball, Smarella reaches first.
Smarella is hit by the pitch.
Now batting first baseman, number 8.
That loads the bases.
Just got some word from the baseball game that Lexington and the Quakers are on a rain delay right now.
Let's see if the Quakers can get out of this jam here in the bottom of the first. First pitch, a called strike outside corner. It's a left-handed hitting Riley Zorni. Plays first base at the plate. Down on the count is Zorni, 0-1. Her sister Sophia just scored the first run of the game for Steubenville a moment ago. Next pitch misses out of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Howard gets the ball back from Loveday, walks to the back of the circle. And the 1-1 pitch off the plate, low, ball 2. So Zorni, the 7th player to bat here in the bottom of the first inning for Steubenville. Bases loaded, but 2 outs. Howard getting the sign from Loveday, the 2-1 pitch. That's a called strike on the outside corner, 2-2. So the Quakers 1 strike away from getting out of what could be a problem.
Yeah, Coach Dupke's working that outside corner of the plate here, back to back.
The 2-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. So Steubenville does score, but the Quakers work out of trouble after an inning. It's New Philadelphia 1, Steubenville 1 on the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley.
Family owned and operated for more than 50 years, Dover Brake specializes in sales and service of everything involving automotive and heavy-duty brakes, along with a vast selection of truck parts and accessories. They also offer alignment, custom U-bolt bending, industrial sandblasting, bonding, and more. And now, you can find the parts you're searching for with a complete in-store inventory updated regularly at DoverBrakeInc.com. Safely shop and pay online and have your purchase delivered, or pick it up at Dover Brake, Route 250 in Strasburg, online at DoverBrakeInc.com.
High school tournament softball on the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley. I'm Bill Morgan with Ricky Neff. And really, Ricky, fortunate thanks to the strikeout pitching of Jillian Howard, the Quakers were able to get out of the bottom of that first frame without Steubenville doing more damage than they did.
Yeah, I mean, had bases loaded right there, and she was able to battle out of that pretty quickly there with a couple good strikeouts there. Errors really hurt them in the first inning, so got to shore some of those things up going into the second here.
The right fielder, number 2, Zoe DeVore, to lead things off for the black and red. Their second go-around. With the pitcher for Steubenville, Isabella Cadill. First pitch to DeVore, called strike on the inside corner. Cadill, a long look in. The next pitch, just off the plate outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And for those that don't know, many do, when it comes to tournament time in softball or any of the sports. The 1-1 pitch. A called strike at the letters. 1 and 2. The umpires that you see are selected to advance on. It's not some random, we put any gal or guy out there, but they earn their way there, much like the teams do. The 1-2 pitch, high ball 2. That's not to say they'll never make a mistake, but they earn their way. So
as it should be. That's good for them.
For sure. The 2-2 pitch, that's a little bit high, I guess, because it was over the plate. That's where Zoe DeVore, and this probably isn't anything to brag about, but she's got more guts than me taking that pitch. Full count on Zoe. The 3-2 pitch from Cadill, and that hit her.
That hit
the bat.
Hit the barrel. Right, the knob on the bat.
Now Zoe was actually trying to get out of the way of that, and like Ricky said, hit the bottom of her bat, went right back to Cadill in the circle, fired on to first for the first out of the inning. That'll bring first baseman Olivia Jackson to the plate. Olivia is certainly somebody who's got a lot of power at the plate. Swings and misses, and Cadill's first offering.
Yeah, another power hitter for the Quakers. Hit some home runs and stuff this year.
Nice to have somebody who can swing the bat like that with power down in the 7-hole of Coach Dupke's lineup. No balls, 2 strikes. Olivia down in the count, trying to battle back against right-handed pitcher Isabella Cadill. The next pitch popped up on the infield. Cadill coming out of the circle toward home plate to make the catch. 2 outs in the inning. That'll bring the DP, Kylie Jones, to the plate. Kylie batting for the left fielder, Marissa Roth. Slightly open stance, right-hand side. That ball fouled on a quick line over toward the Big Red first base dugout off the screen and back out onto the field.
Got really nice dugouts down here. Got padding on the front, nets. Everybody's up on the wall. Looks fantastic facility again.
The 0-1. That ball blooped out, and a nice running grab at shortstop by the Big Red shortstop, Paige Madison, to bring the top of the second for the Quakers to a close. After an inning and a half, it's the Quakers 1, Steubenville 1 on the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the Wendy's $5 biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, junior hot and crispy fries, and small soft drink is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Unlimited time does not mean forever. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California and via third-party delivery. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
High school tourney softball on the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley, as we partner with the great folks at Claxon Communications for this live video stream. The Big Red sent 7 batters to the plate in the bottom of the first against Jillian Howard. So they will start with the DP in the 8th spot, number 23, Emily Tuttle. Tuttle, right-handed batter. Kind of a tall frame, kind of like Olivia Jackson, who batted for the Quakers. Only she hits from the opposite side of the plate. First pitch from Howard in the inning, missing the 1-0. Grounded towards second base. Cardani there, fires on to first for the first out of the inning.
Now walking to the plate, left fielder, number 7, Gina.
That'll bring the left fielder, Gina Smith, to the plate. It's been cloudy since we arrived here just before 4 o'clock, but even becoming more cloudy now. Now, does that mean rain? No, not necessarily, but
Let's hope it holds off. It's not too hot outside. It's beautiful down here.
It really is. First pitch to Smith, missing the 1-0. Way high as Loveday had to jump up out of the catcher's crouch and grab that. 2-0. Howard, couple of steps behind the rubber in the 2-0 pitch. Popped up high on the infield. Cardani at second, calling for it and makes the catch. So Sarah Cardani with an assist on the first out of the inning and the putout on the second. Back to the top of the Big Red lineup, Sophia Zorni, who reached on an error leading off the game. She's the second baseman for this Big Red team. First pitch to her, high and inside for a ball. One-0. Howard ready. The next ball bounced to third. Ellie Mason grabs, fires on to first. Great inning for the Quakers as the Big Red go 1, 2, 3. We head for the third. New Philadelphia 1, Steubenville 1 on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley.
Commercial building owners, how well do you keep your roof maintained? At Right Mark Roofing, we offer our Bullseye Maintenance Program to building owners to help keep your roof healthy. This includes our 21-point inspection that examines all the essential areas of your roof that require year-round maintenance, a detailed report on the health and status of your roof, priority service that moves you to the front of the line, and discounts that reduce the risk of expensive repairs. Give us a call at 330-275-0088 or visit our website at rightmarkroofing.com to learn more.
High school tournament softball with the Big Z Sports Network, the Sports Voice of the Valley, and Claxon Communications. I'm Bill Morgan with Ricky Neff, and as the Quakers come to the plate for their third battle with the pitcher, Isabella Cadill, it'll be the Quakers pitcher, Jillian Howard, to lead things off.
Yeah, Cadill pretty efficient the last inning, went through 8 pitches in there and got 3 outs on that, so going to be pretty successful if that's what you're doing.
Jillian, the 9th batter in Coach Dupke's lineup. First pitch from Howard. Sailing high and outside for a ball. Now the home plate umpire, Kelly Ryan, here's something he's right on. Tell you about that after this pitch. Next one missing outside. I've seen him. He just signaled to New Philadelphia to make sure your on-deck batter is in the on-deck circle, which is on the field but near the end of the dugout. And he had done something similar earlier in the game to the Big Red. The 2-0 pitch, a swing and a miss, taking something off of that pitch, or so it appeared, did Cadill. So it's 2-1 on the Quakers' right-handed hitting pitcher, Jillian Howard. The next pitch, way outside, ball 3. So the Quakers trying to lead off the third like they led off the first by getting a runner on when Sydney Vandal doubled to start the game. The 3-1 pitch, called strike on the inside corner. The count now full on Howard. Jillian adjusting her batting glove on the left hand. The 3-2 pitch fouled off and out of play. Over the first base dugout, the count stays at 3-2. Nice battle going on, pitcher v. pitcher. Cadill's next pitch inside, ball 4.
Howard draws the walk.
So the second walk that Cadill has issued, that'll bring Sydney Vandal. And
I think we're going to have a pinch runner coming in here.
Number 12, Caitlin Hughes, in to run for Howard.
Yep. Number 12, Caitlin Hughes is in here for pinch running for our pitcher. Brings up Sydney Vandal back to the plate here. Sydney had a double in the first inning out to center field out there, and then was eventually able to score for the only run for the Quakers so far tonight.
And for those who are familiar with the substitution rules, that does not count as an entry into the game. So Howard will be able to go back out. The pitcher and the catcher are both allowed to have courtesy runners. The first pitch to Vandal, missing for a ball. Sydney waving that bat from the right side. The next pitch, a little bit inside, ball 2. Cadell does not look too happy with herself. She takes the ball back from the catcher, Smarella, walks to the back of the circle, deals the 2-0. Sydney lines it into center field, a base hit. So Sydney 2 for 2. And you try not to be conscious of it if you're Sydney, but after the errors in the first inning, she wants to say, you know what, I want to contribute, and she did. She lined it right back up the middle, and really a lot of times, Ricky, somebody might have a soft hit over the end of the bat, off the end of the bat or whatnot, but both of Sydney's hits today have been shots.
Yeah, she's barreled up on both those balls that she's hit out there. Good contact.
That'll bring Easton Miller to the plate. Easton pops it up, looks like it's going foul territory, down the left field line. And just out of play.
I hope that didn't hit Bill Morgan's car.
It might have.
Bronze colored SUV. Shattered the back window. Like a copper colored SUV.
Yeah, that's my car.
The orange one? Orange car?
Yeah.
Well, Bill, I've got bad news for you for this evening. I have to talk to Adam Selesky about some damage payments.
The ball bounced right back up the middle. That'll get into center field. Rounding third is Hughes. And she will score, and the Quakers take a 2-1 lead.
Now batting third baseman, number 21, Ellie Mason.
So that'll bring Ellie Mason to the plate. Quakers with runners at first and second.
Pulled forward in. Oh, Bill, might be good news for you, buddy.
It's a car that's backed in.
It's a car that's backed in. We're pulled straight in. Donna Morgan will be okay.
Well, she's probably already got 25 texts. I'll probably get a text from her shortly. Mason finds herself down in the count, 0-1. May have you go move my car. The next pitch, fouled, out of play, first base side. Ellie in her first at bat reached on a fielder's choice. So Hughes scoring on Miller's RBI single back up the middle. Quakers 2, Steubenville 1. We're in the top of the third. Cadill's next pitch. That's low and
change up there, just off the offside.
The next pitch, that misses out of the zone. So good job so far by Ellie battling back into the count after originally being down 0-2. Easton Miller at first, Sydney Vandal at second. Pretty good speed on the base pass for Coach Dupke's team. The 2-2 pitch. That's an infield fly.
Oh.
Boy, nearly a collision. So
collision out there, almost dropped that ball. Shortstop came all the way across the field and took it away from the second baseman.
Now, fortunately for the Big Red, unfortunately if you're a Quaker fan, that ball was caught. Now to bring Reese Loveday to the plate. Reese 0-1, but has an RBI and a sacrifice fly back in the first inning. Quakers up 2-1. One out, top of the third. Line drive, that's a base hit. Hitting third, Vandal is going to hold right there. Now the Quakers are in trouble because they've got a runner halfway between second and third. And fortunately for the Quakers, Easton didn't get shot down, so she's at second.
Yeah, I think Easton read that as they were going to send her home here, and they held her up at third.
Bases are loaded with Quakers. They've already tallied once here in the top of the third inning.
Let's see, the Steubenville is able to battle out of this. Let's see how it goes for the Quakers here.
First pitch to Cardani, missing for a ball. Sarah popped out, to second base to end the first inning for the Quakers. He's had a couple of nice plays already in the field. The next pitch fouled on the ground, first base side. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Quakers trying to do more damage here in the top of 3, leading 2-1. Cadill's pitch. A bounce off the ground, off the glove of the second baseman, and safe at second. Scoring from third for the Quakers is Vandal, and New Philadelphia has now built that advantage to 3-1. Miller goes to third, Loveday to second. And that'll bring Zoe DeVore to the plate. Zoe, in her first at-bat last inning, looked like she got hit by a pitch, but the ball went off the bottom of the bat, went right back to Cadill, the pitcher, who threw her out at first.
Yeah, I think that last at-bat even surprised her when she was out there.
Cadill ready in the circle, the 1-0, high and off the glove, and thinking about coming down third, about a third of the way, and then I don't know that Easton thought better of it, but I'm sure Coach Dupke was saying, get back.
There's a lot of room back here behind there, but they are quick.
Oh, yeah. He bounces off the screen. It's coming right back to the catcher. The 2-0 pitch. Inside, low ball 3. Well, there is nowhere to put her, so you would assume she's going to take certainly 1, if not 2 here.
Yeah, we're going right after, right down the middle here is what I'd expect. She's been working the inside corner of this plate. Let's see where she sets up.
Cadill's 3-0 pitch. High, ball 4, and the Quakers score again.
DeVore drawing the walk.
Loveday goes to third. Cardani to first. DeVore down to first. The Quakers leading 4-1. Now a trip
to the mound out here for the Big Red.
Coach Dupke comes to talk to the home plate umpire, Kelly Ryan. Maybe we're going to see another courtesy runner, a pinch runner.
Yep, we got Reese Loveday's out, and can't see the number yet here, who we've got on third base now.
We'll let you know when we know.
Number 4, it's Morgan Groff out there at third base here. So getting some young people some opportunities to score here for us.
Well, at least the PA guy knew who it was.
A little quicker than we are.
Yeah, he's a little brighter than we are, too.
Might be.
The next pitch as Jackson stepping in to try and build on what has already been a 3-run Quaker third. A swing and a miss. Olivia popped out to the pitcher in her first at-bat last inning. Swings and misses. That one a little bit high, but you know what? A lot of times on the release by somebody like, in this case, Cadill, that ball looks pretty good coming in.
Yeah, it's humming in there right now.
The 0-2 pitch, and a little bit low and off the plate for a ball. So the Quakers have scored 3 runs in the inning. Caitlin Hughes, the courtesy runner, scoring. Sydney Vandal scoring. Easton Miller scoring. The 1-2 pitch to Jackson. High, and nice job by the catcher, Smarilla, to knock that thing down. And, you know, certainly always a challenging situation when you're down by 3 and a long way to go in this game. But as we were alluding to in the pregame show, Ricky, Cadill has pitched the vast majority of innings this year for Steubenville.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. They don't have a second pitcher listed on their starting lineup right here, so I'm not sure who they'd bring in after this. I've just heard from their PA guy it would be Edwards here.
A swing and a miss by Jackson as she fans for the second out of the inning.
Kylie Jones.
And the DP, Kylie Jones, comes to the plate. Kylie becomes the 9th Quaker to bat in the inning. Bases still loaded. Quakers trying to add more. They've already put 3 on the scoreboard. Jones pops it up. Foul. Nice hustle by Riley Zorney. Can't quite get to it. That ball bounces off the top of the metal-plated Steubenville dugout. Cadill ready. The next pitch to Jones. Line drive down the right field line. That's a base hit. 1 Quaker scores. Rounding third. Here comes another Quaker runner, and both score. Sarah Cardani coming in after Groff. And the Quakers now up 6-1.
Bringing to the plate pitcher number 15, Jillian Howard.
You know, when you bat around the entire order in an inning, it's not a bad inning for the team.
It certainly has been outstanding as Jillian Howard batting for the 2nd time, and she started it all with a walk and would eventually score. Ground ball to second base. The throw on to first base in time, but the Quakers do major damage here in the 3rd. As the black and red plate 5, we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. New Philadelphia 6, Steubenville 1 on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley.
Dumont Sporting Goods in Dover and Canton has just what you're looking for, so your athlete has the best gear for the sports they play. Dumont's has a large apparel selection and can handle your customized screen printing as well as embroidery for your team or business. For sporting goods and for all your apparel needs, Dumont Sporting Goods in Dover and Canton has everything you want to play and look your best.
Welcome back to high school tournament softball on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley. Ricky, the Quakers up 6-1 after a 5-run 3rd.
Yeah, that was a huge inning there for the Quakers. It ended up starting off good with a walk, that ended up scoring a couple of nice hits in the middle of the line, in the middle of the order here, and put 5 runs up that inning. Clutch hit there at the end, for Kylie Jones there to score 2 runs in.
Well, one of the things you will constantly hear head coaches say in this situation, what can make this big 3rd inning even bigger is if you could go out and limit Steubenville, get them back to the first base dugout without tallying themselves.
Yeah, right now sitting at their 2, 3, 4 hitters up to bat right here. She's in the front of the box again.
Jillian Howard's first pitch grounded to second. Sarah Cardani there throws on to first. 1 out. Well, and that's what we're talking about. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Now batting center fielder number 0, Zeta Smith.
Not a bad start for the Quakers. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Zeta Smith, the center fielder, who singled in her first at bat and was left on base back in the 1st inning. First pitch that she sees misses downstairs from Howard for a ball. The next pitch called strike on the inside corner near the letters. 1-1. Howard ready, her next offering. Called strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Howard, a quick check in with Reese Loveday. The next pitch, that's outside, ball 2.
Coach Dupke had a couple of change-ups earlier here. They took both of them out there and hit both of them. I haven't seen really one since then.
Howard ready in the middle of the rubber. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled off the fencing. First base side. That count hangs at 2-2. 1 out, bottom of the 3rd inning. Quakers leading 6-1. The 2-2 pitch.
There was one there.
Close, but not close enough. 3-2.
Load up the count here.
Jillian rubbing the softball against her right hip. The next pitch, that's fouled off nearly the same place. One win a couple of pitches ago. So the count staying at 3-2. Smith, the number 3 hitter for this solid Big Red squad. The next pitch, line drive base hit into right center field. Nice job hustling over to cut it off was Easton Miller as she went to a knee. You know what, if she doesn't get that, that probably goes to the wall, and that's at least 2 bases for Smith.
That was a great play by Easton out there, being able to move from one side to the other. Talked about how fast she was earlier today. I mean, she showed it right there.
That'll bring the third baseman, Sadie Edwards, to the plate. Edwards, right-handed hitter against Howard. The right-handed pitcher fouls it off. She struck out in her first at-bat. Jillian, as always, checking for the signal, and the next pitch hits Edwards.
Hit by the pitch. Bringing to the plate, shortstop, number 2.
That'll bring Paige Madison to the plate.
Paige reached base last time on an error here, so.
Let's see how Howard and the Quakers defensively handle this situation. First pitch misses for a ball. The throw back down to second base. Not in time to get Smith, who got back in ahead of the throw, but Reese Loveday just telling Cena Smith, hey, I know you're out there. 1-0. The next pitch called strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Sometimes when a team gets back-to-back runners on, in this case a single and a hit by pitch, maybe a little nervous, but you know what? Go out and make a couple of plays, get out of the inning. The 1-1 pitch bounced foul down the third baseline as the count now goes to 1-2.
Came back with that changeup there, way out in front of it.
The next pitch bounced right back. Howard throws to third in time to get the lead runner, Smith. Wow, quick play and an accurate throw by Jillian to Ellie Mason over at third. So Edwards goes to second, Madison to first on the fielder's choice, but 2 outs in the inning.
It's a great play by her. Had to jump up off the ground and grab that ball and then right to third base.
Had to bring Sagan Smarella to the plate. The ball down and in what we would normally call the dirt, and Loveday had that ball go up the third base line, so advancing Edwards to third, Madison to second. The pitch, of course, a ball, 1-0. Howard in the circle, the pitch. Called strike outside corner, 1-1. Both teams scored single runs in the first. Quakers 5 in the top of this third, currently leading 6-1. The 1-1 pitch from Howard, a swing and a miss. So Jillian Howard, junior pitcher, and the Quakers 1 strike away from getting out of the third without allowing the Big Red to get back onto the scoreboard. The 1-2 pitch. That's off the plate. Quaker fans kind of groaned, but really that wasn't close.
Yeah, she was set up way outside, so.
The great Rod Miller.
I mean, Rod Miller, clutch play here.
I mean, he may be our Subway player of the game. More on that momentarily. The 2-2 pitch to third, fielded by Ellie Mason, guns to first, and the Quakers retire the Big Red. Steubenville not able to get back on to the scoreboard. After 3 complete, New Philadelphia leading Steubenville 6-1 on the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley.
Sammy Sue's Barbecue on Front Street in Dover offers a menu full of house-smoked meats, including choices like ribs, chicken, steak, and pork. Sammy Sue's takes pride in knowing that everything on their menu is made fresh in their kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Sammy's also offers a variety of specials all week long, including the popular wing nights every Tuesday and Thursday. Find Sammy Sue's Barbecue on Facebook for a full list of daily specials and everything they have to offer.
New Philadelphia coming to do battle with Steubenville here in the top of the fourth inning, and John Dupke's team has had their bats out and rolling Ricky through three. They have a 5-run lead.
Yeah, been pretty impressive at the plate so far, taking advantage of getting runners in scoring position and then being able to score those guys when they're there.
For the Quakers, senior shortstop Sidney Vandal to the plate, doubled and scored in the first, singled and scored in that big 5-run third inning last frame. First pitch missing outside for a ball. Well, we credit Rod Miller. He brought us a couple of hot dogs.
Yep, he knows I love hot dogs.
That sounds like you may be planning on eating both of those. The 1-0 pitch, called strike, outside corner.
One's for you, Bill. But I do have some news here. It looks like we got some weather rolling. I just looked at the radar. It says 6:30. Might get a little bit of rain here.
1-1, and the next pitch from Cadill, missing high. So the count moves to 2-1 on the Quakers' leadoff hitter. Next pitch, that misses upstairs as well, 3-1. Since you have all kinds of updates, any further word on whether the Quakers baseball team is now playing in Lexington?
They are still under rain delay, but I believe it's 1-0 right now.
Ball popped into right field, moving in, and Eddie Meyer makes the catch for the first out in the fourth.
Center fielder, number 55, Easton Miller.
That'll bring Easton Miller. Miller 1 for 1. A single, a run scored, an RBI, and reached in her other at-bat on a walk.
Quakers are still under rain delay. 1-0, 0 outs, top of the first.
So that would answer the other question. They've got the run.
They do.
See how I'm quick like that. That ball fouled right back, and Ricky Neff would have had to make a fantastic grab had that backstop not been built about 25 feet above home plate. Oh, and 1. Easton stepping back in against the right-hander, Isabella Cadill. Ask for time. Line drive, base hit into center field. Now, Easton's been on base in all three of her at-bats, including a pair of hits.
She's had a great night so far at the plate.
She
had
has.
a great job out defensively for him, too. Ellie Mason up, had a pop out last inning and single in the first inning here.
Quakers trying to add more in the top of the fourth with a 5-run lead now. Mason fouls one off the end of the bat. Miller was in motion. She'll have to go back to first base. We talked earlier, Ricky, about Easton being on the wrestling team, and here within the last several weeks, you guys hired a girls wrestling coach.
We did. Good news for us. We hired Adam Witter, longtime assistant for the boys' side. He also coaches varsity football for us and spent a lot of time coaching with him over the years. He's going to be a great, great addition for our girls program.
The next pitch, missing for a ball, 1-1 on the Quaker third baseman, Ellie Mason. Ellie, a good volleyball player. Back in the fall. The 1-1 pitch.
Basketball also. She's a rare person nowadays where you get a three-sport athlete today. Not easy to do.
You know, back when we were in school, Ricky, there were the gals and the guys that were good athletes, a lot of them were three-sport athletes, but you're absolutely right. You don't see that anymore. Ellie fouling that one off. Ellie was always, I was the PA guy for volleyball. She's always on me to make sure I was playing the right pregame music at the right time.
Well, that's the key to the game.
Well, there's no question. 2-2. Ellie looks out at Cadill and the pitch. Fly ball lifted into center, back goes Smith. She will make the catch for the second out of the inning. And Ellie put a charge into that one right to about the front of the warning track, Ricky. Not quite enough on that one for it to get out.
Yeah, kind of scooped underneath that one. Went center pretty high, not too much of a line drive there.
That'll bring Reese Loveday to the plate.
Reese had a sac fly in the first inning and was able to reach base in the third.
Chops it right back up the middle off of Cadill's glove. The ball fired by the shortstop. Madison on to first to end the Quakers' fourth. After 3.5 innings, it's New Philadelphia at 6, Steubenville 1 on the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley.
Spring and summer bring big events, graduations, yard sales, and tournaments. The Educational Service Center Print Center is your go-to for sponsor banners, yard signs, and custom graduation packages with invitations, envelopes, and thank you cards. And when it's time for sports, the ECO Center in St. Clairsville is the perfect venue for AAU and JO tournaments. With spacious seating, plenty of parking, and easy access to hotels and restaurants, it's your one-stop arena for wrestling, cheer, and more. Plan your next event with us on the court or in print. Find out more today online at ecoesc.org.
High school tourney softball on the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley. I'm Bill Morgan with Ricky Neff.
I just got a score update here from baseball. They're playing again. It's 4-0 Quakers at the top of the 2.
Wow.
That was quick.
It was. Let me guess. Watch this. It's kind of like a Karnak the Magnificent was way back in the day of the Johnny Carson show. You may be getting those updates from Ryan Range.
That would be exactly who I'm getting those updates from.
How about that? That's very impressive. I'm trying to figure out how I survived subbing at Welty Middle School when he was the principal and you were the assistant principal.
It's quite the trifecta right there, that would be.
That just tells you that Mr. Range and Mr. Neff had a big need for subs, is what that tells you.
Did a great job for us. We'd take you back in a minute.
I appreciate your kindness. Ryan Lee Zorney to lead things off. Struck out in the first inning. That ended the frame against Jillian Howard. And Jillian's first pitch, a called strike to begin the inning. And yes, I probably did just slip Ricky a 20.
Maybe a couple meatballs after this will be fine with me.
The ball bounced right back to Howard to throw on to first base in time.
Bringing to the plate, designated player number 23, Emily Tuttle.
The DP, Emily Tuttle, who grounded out to Sarah Cardani, leading off the second. Tuttle batting for the pitcher, Isabella Cadill. Quakers here in the bottom of the fourth, a 6-1 lead. First pitch down low and bounces away for the Quakers. 6 runs, 6 hits, a pair of errors for the Big Red. A single run, 2 hits, and they've got an error as well. Howard down in the count, 1-0. Her next pitch, a swing and a miss by Tuttle. 1-1. Well, as good of a season as Steubenville has had, I mean, I'm sure they've trailed before, but how many 5-run deficits they've had is probably kind of up in the air.
Yeah, I don't think too many.
Great job.
Change up right there.
So 1-2. Well, and sometimes that becomes not necessarily a physical hurdle, but kind of a mental hurdle. You're down by 5, and you're like, what do we do now?
They've been here before. I know against Dover in the first game, they were down 1 run and ended up scoring 2 in the bottom of the 6th to take the lead. And then, Dover was able to battle back and take care of business in that game. So they've been in this situation.
Head in the count. Howard, the 1-2 pitch, missing, ball 2. Well, certainly if the Quakers were fortunate enough to have a 1-2-3 inning, that'd be nice not to have the top of the lineup flip back up here in the fourth. The 2-2 pitch. Slow roller, third base. Mason has it, fires it on to first in time for the second out of the inning. And we've seen Ellie have multiple opportunities so far down at that hot corner, Ricky, and she's fielded it well here today.
Yeah, she is so smooth through the ball. Works really well through it, reads it well, plays the hop, and then great arm.
That'll bring Gina Smith to the plate, the left fielder. Popped out to Cardani at short in her first at bat. The first pitch from Howard, sailing high and out of the zone, 1-0. Howard, left side of the rubber. The next pitch, that's fouled off and out of play over the first base dugout of the Big Red. A ball, a strike. Howard again rubbing that softball on her right hip. The next pitch, line drive. Cardani with a great grab at second as the Big Red go 1-2-3 in the fourth. After 4, New Philadelphia leading Steubenville. It's 6-1 on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley.
We invite you to discover Keim Home Center in Charm, Ohio. Keim is your destination for all things home, building, and woodworking. From renovation and building projects to custom millwork needs, our team of experts work with both homeowners and professionals to bring your vision to life. Visit Keim Home Center in Charm or online at keimhome.com. Keim, built on trust since 1911.
High school tourney softball on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley. New Philadelphia leading 6-1 as we move toward the fifth. And coming up after the game, Mr. Neff and I get to name a Subway Player of the Game, brought to you by our local Subway restaurants. Subway, find your fresh.
Sarah Cardani up to bat here after making that great catch.
Sees the first pitch. Sail high and outside for a ball. Sarah today 1 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. The next pitch, that's high and outside, ball 2. And I'm sure this isn't normally Isabella Cadill's deal in terms of she's not been real consistent being on the plate. And when she has, the Quakers have ripped at it. The next pitch fouled out of play over the backstop behind home plate. And again, a big-time credit to the folks in Steubenville. I mean, I'm sure, Ricky, you were kind of just ballparking. You said this probably got to be about a $2 million facility here. I mean,
yeah, I would guess.
Cardani, line drive. Boy, a nice grabbing catch at shortstop. Falling to the third base side was Paige Madison, who grabbed it for the first out of the inning.
Now batting right fielder, number 2, Zoe DeVore.
That'll bring Zoe DeVore to the plate.
Nice play by the shortstop there. Moved really well to her right side and was able to make the play.
So Zoe DeVore, who has grounded back to the pitcher and picked up an RBI on a bases-loaded walk in her last at-bat, takes a called strike. Well, and really, Ricky, when you combine this softball facility with an equally outstanding baseball facility right behind it, boy, tremendous support for the Big Red from this Steubenville community.
Certainly. I know how hard it is to work. I mean, we've worked with our youth softball programs to try and get our fields improved, and this is an impressive place to be.
Zoe finding herself down in the count at 0-2. Cadill ready to pitch. High and outside for a ball. The right fielder hits it from the right side. The next pitch, fly ball into right field. That's going to go over the head and down the right field line. That bounces into the corner. DeVore digging around second. She's going to third, and she's going to round and try and score, and she does! An inside the park home run by Zoe DeVore, and the Quakers lead it 7-1. Unbelievable action for the Quakers as they have had the bats out and rolling here today.
That was about the same spot she hit that last ball that hit right there, and it bounced directly outside. Tough ball to play. And you saw the speed from her as she rounded all 4 bases here.
That'll bring Olivia Jackson to the plate. A swing and a miss, a strike. Well, certainly one of the things that factors into that in the game of high school softball is the bases are shorter. That's not taking anything away from the home run, but it's 60 feet between the bags as Olivia has a big rip at that one and fouls it back. So you don't have time, whether you're in the infield or the outfield, to not get to the ball or not hustle to the ball, and not that the right fielder didn't hustle to it. But you know what? You've got to do it really quickly, and DeVore made him pay the price.
It really is tough. I mean, you got to be on it every time.
DeVore Jackson swinging and missing for the second out of the inning.
Player number 25, Kylie Jones.
So Kylie Jones, 1 for 2 with a couple of RBIs for the DP. Fouls it off, and that goes up onto the Quaker dugout third base side. Quakers, 7 runs, an equal amount of hits. Steubenville, a single run and a pair of hits. Cadill, ready in the circle, the pitch. That's outside. Kylie, the DP for the black and red. Batting for the Quaker left fielder, Marissa Roth. The 1-1 pitch. Grounded to Matson at short. Grabs it, fires it on to first base to retire New Philly into 5th, but not before the Zoe DeVore inside the park home run gives the Quakers a 6-run lead. NP 7, Steubenville 1 on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley.
Hi, I'm Zach Motice with the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency. For all your auto, home, farm, and business insurance needs, contact our team at the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency or stop in and see us at one of our 3 locations in downtown New Philadelphia, Sugar Creek, or in Strasburg, providing excellent service to the Tuscarawas Valley since 1885. Everyone here at the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency would like to wish all area athletes good luck this season.
The New Philadelphia Quakers playing solid softball this afternoon, leading as the Big Red come to the plate. And other than that bottom of the Steubenville first, when they scored a run, the Quakers made a couple of errors. Really, it's been a good all-around game, Ricky, for New Philly.
Yeah, they've been solid all around. Started off a little rocky, couple errors there, but they've really cleaned up all their fielding and been able to make some nice plays since then.
For the Big Red, the top of their order here in the bottom of the 5th, Sophia Zorni, Addie Meyer, and Cena Smith. Zorni, 0 for 2 today, but did reach on an error in the first and would score what has been so far the Big Reds' only run, a strike. Here in at bat number 3, Howard ready, and the 0-1 pitch. Boy, just off the plate.
Yeah, she did a nice job at framing that. I thought we were going to get a strike call there.
1 ball, 1 strike. Howard checked with Loveday. The pitch popped up, and Sydney Vandal with a nice play. Angling toward left field, grabs it for the first out.
Now batting, right fielder, number 5, Addie Meyer.
That'll bring Addie Meyer to the plate. Meyer tried to put a bunt down in her first at bat. The ball bounced up and hit her, and she's grounded out to second.
Just tried to bunt there and pulled it back.
So 7-1 with the word that Ricky gave you on the bunt. Mason squeezing in down that third base line. The next pitch, a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Coach Depke asking for timeout so he can give his first baseman, Olivia Jackson, some sunglasses.
Yeah, a little sun coming in over here, right in her eyes.
So much for your forecast of rain at 6:30.
I got mine from Temu, I think.
The 1-1 pitch. That's fouled straight back to the backstop. Your sunglasses or your weather forecast?
Either one.
Okay. 1-2 the count now. Meyer trying to get something going for the Big Red. Bottom of the 5th inning. Nobody on, 1 out. The next pitch from Howard. A called strike 3.
Ring her up.
Now batting center fielder, number 0,
The 3rd strikeout on the afternoon for Jillian Howard, and that'll bring Cena Smith to the plate. Smith has had success against the Quakers in both of her at-bats so far. 2 singles. Howard ready, and that time, I have no idea where that pitch was.
Change up. Looked like a little low.
Ricky Neff being nice. The 1-0 pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. 1-1.
Perhaps the sun is in their eyes also behind the plate.
1 ball, 1 strike. Smith asking for time. Will step out of that right-handed batter's box, and she was adjusting either the wrist pad or maybe an elbow pad she had on. Gets back in. The 1-1 pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. So Jillian battling right back, now ahead in the count in the circle at 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. High ball 2. The next pitch, slow roller to first. Olivia Jackson has it, will beat her to the bag, and the Quakers send them down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 5th. After 5 innings, New Philadelphia leading Steubenville 7-1 on the Sports Voice of the Valley.
Subway refreshed their ingredients, then their menu, and now they're slicing their meats fresh. That means fresh sliced turkey, fresh sliced ham, and 2 new Deli Hero subs. Try the Titan Turkey and Grand Slam ham, each piled high with double the cheese and more meat. Order your new Deli Hero sub with freshly sliced deli meats today, and be sure to try all the subs on the refreshed Subway Series menu. Subway's tastiest menu upgrade yet.
The 6th inning has arrived here in Steubenville in the heart of Jefferson County, New Philadelphia. A 7-1 lead over the Big Red. The Big Red, the higher seed coming into this matchup, hence the reason they're playing here at home. For the Quakers, 9-1-2 in John Dupke's order.
Leading off for the Quakers,
Jillian Howard.
Number 15, Jillian Howard.
Both of her at-bats coming, interestingly enough, in the same inning. She walked and scored in the Quakers' big 3rd inning and grounded out to end the inning. Jillian, like she pitches it, a right-handed batter. Swings and fouls the first one back. Oh, and 1. The 0-1 pitch, inside for a ball. Line down the right field line and foul. That ball was kind of slicing as it came off of Jillian's bat. When it came off the bat, you're like, maybe that could fall. No, it's not going to.
Just kept carrying right out.
So Jillian going to try and battle back now for the Quakers. She's down in the count at 1-2. Cadill checking in with Smarella. The next pitch, that's fouled off of the first base fencing. The next pitch, just off the plate, 2-2, and I'm not so sure the Big Red fans were happy with that call or lack thereof. The 2-2 pitch. That's high, ball 3. Let's see if Howard can reach. Top of the 6th inning. Cadill's 3-2 pitch. That's fouled straight back, and the count will stay at 3-2.
Good battle here at the plate. It's their 3rd foul ball on this.
2 pitchers battling against one another. The next pitch outside, ball 4.
Howard drawing the walk after the battle at home plate.
Howard reaches. We'll probably see the courtesy runner for her again. Caitlin Hughes did it back in the 3rd inning.
Number 12, Caitlin Hughes.
So Hughes was the courtesy runner in the 3rd, and she would score. Quakers obviously hoping that wouldn't happen again here in the frame. That brings Sydney Vandal to the plate. Line drive into left field. That's going to bounce in the left center field gap and go all the way to the wall. Hughes hits 3rd, digs around the corner. Vandal in with the triple, and the Quakers are up 8-1.
Now batting center fielder, number 55, Easton Miller.
Vandal with a single, a double, and now a triple on the day.
That'll bring Easton Miller to the plate. Easton today 2 for 2. A couple of singles, a run scored, an RBI, and also reached on a walk. First pitch misses a little bit off the plate. For a ball. So should the Quakers finish with a win, they will face the winner. Miller putting down a bunt, but it goes foul, 3rd base side. They will face the winner of the Dover Tri-Valley game. And that contest would be Monday of next week. And if Dover and New Philly both advance, that will be at Dover because Dover's the higher seeded team. The next pitch, that's called strike, outside corner. We'll see if we can get you a Dover Tri-Valley score here momentarily.
Currently 2-0 Dover. It looks like top of the 5th.
That game also being heard on the Big Z Sports Network. Miller lifts a fly into left field. That ball's caught. Tagging, trying to score from 3rd, and doing so easily for the Quakers is Sydney Vandal. And the Quakers are now up 9-1. Well, certainly Easton Miller's had a great day at the plate. And the Quakers now up by 8 runs at 9-1. We're in the 6th. That'll bring Ellie Mason to the plate. Ellie grounds it back to Cadill. She'll field in the circle and throws on to first for the 2nd out of the inning.
Now batting catcher,
Reese Loveday.
Reese Loveday.
Reese had a sac fly earlier today and ground out, and it looks like a single.
And she would have had a run scored, but they put a courtesy runner in for her, and Groff. Called strike to Reese on the outside corner. The 0-1 pitch, line drive, base hit into center field.
Loveday with a single to center. Now batting second baseman, number 10,
That'll bring Sarah Cardani to the plate. And Groff back into be the courtesy runner.
Into run at first base.
And much like Caitlin Hughes, the courtesy runner, Groff scored the last time she did that. And Hughes, both times she's appeared as a courtesy runner, she scored both times. That ball to Madison at short. Fires on to first base to get Tardani and the Quakers here in the sixth, but not before New Philadelphia scores 2 more times. We head for the bottom of the sixth inning. It is New Philadelphia leading Steubenville 9-1 on the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley.
This is Christine from Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, your trained comfort specialist located in downtown Dover. In the dead of winter or the dog days of summer, we're here for you 24/7 with friendly, personal attention and honest, affordable service. And right now, our customers will receive a free duct cleaning with a qualifying system. Call me for details. So if you've been considering installing a new HVAC system, now is the time to act. Call me, Christine, at 330-343-5511. Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, your comfort on call since 1981.
New Philadelphia battling Steubenville Division III Tournament Softball as we get ready to go to the bottom of the sixth inning. New Philadelphia up 9-1.
Pretty impressive night all around so far for the Quakers here. Done it in all aspects of the game. Pitching, fielding, and base running here.
Leading off the bottom of the sixth for Big Red, third baseman, number 15, Sadie Edwards.
For Steubenville, in the bottom of the sixth, Sadie Edwards to lead things off. 0 for 1 today, struck out and reached base when she was hit by a pitch. And the first pitch she sees in the sixth, missing for a ball. Again, the winner of this game faces the winner of the line drive base hit into right field. DeVore will field it, fire it back into second base.
Bring it to the plate. Shortstop, number 2.
That'll bring Paige Madison to the plate. Madison 0 for 2, but has reached base in both of her at-bats on an error in the first and on a fielder's choice in the third. But as I was mentioning, if the Quakers can hold on in this game, they will advance to take on the winner of the Dover Tri-Valley matchup. And Ricky had tracked down a 2-0 score, but we get a text from the game, and the guy doing our game, Bill Hammerstrom, he says that game's scoreless in the 7th, Ricky. So,
okay.
The count on Madison, 1-1.
Well, that would be an error on my part as I was looking at the baseball score from this evening for the Tornadoes.
Baseball, softball. You've been working since like 5 o'clock this morning.
4:45 start time today.
Well,
get those 8th graders off to D.C. So
there you go. It's fine.
I'll own that one. That's on me.
You're fine. The 1-2 pitch. Fly ball right field. Zoe DeVore, it goes off of her glove. Now she'll fire it back into second. And she calls him out. The umpire calling her out at second. Boy, he hesitated.
Shoot.
Edwards is out at second base.
She was.
After a hit by
It's a good call. She was clearly out there.
Now batting, catcher.
So 1 out in the inning. Madison reaching. Well, and that was a smart play as Zoe DeVore quickly got rid of the ball after nearly making a great catch. And the ball to second, on to first, not in time. So the Quakers get a second in the inning as they flip it to second. Now 2 outs in the inning, and Smarella reaching on a fielder's choice. 2 outs in the inning.
24, Riley Zorni.
That'll bring Riley Zorni to the plate. The Big Red first baseman 0 for 2 today, grounded out and struck out. The ball, the third pass Mason into left field for a base hit. So that'll put runners at first and second, bottom of the sixth inning. That'll bring the DP, Emily Tuttle, to the plate. Tuttle, 2 at-bats, 2 ground outs, 1 to second, 1 to third. So the Quakers an 8-run advantage in the bottom of the sixth. First pitch to Tuttle. Outside for a ball. So if the Quakers can win this game, and if Tri-Valley were to knock off Dover, that game next Monday would be at Tuscarora Park. The next pitch to Tuttle. She had a big swing, but a miss. 1-1. New Philadelphia, the higher seed than Tri-Valley, so they would get home field advantage. The 1-1 pitch bounced over the head of the pitcher, but Vandal Fields fires on to first for the third out of the inning. We head for the seventh. It is New Philadelphia leading Steubenville 9-1 on the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley.
This is Nathan Kemp with Kemp Insurance. Contact us today for all your auto, home, farm, and commercial insurance needs. We're proud to have been your local hometown agents for over 35 years and look forward to helping you see the difference local agents can make for you. Kemp Insurance on East High Avenue in New Philadelphia.
This is Don Kemp with Kemp Insurance. Whether it's repair work from a fender bender, the after effects of a powerful storm, or a life-changing moment like a house fire, Kemp Insurance is here to provide unmatched customer service. Kemp Insurance, your local hometown agents for over 35 years.
Well, certainly New Philadelphia would like to add more to what is an 8-run advantage here in the top of the seventh, 9-1. But the bottom line is, when we segue into the bottom of this seventh, that they can prevent Steubenville from scoring 8 runs before they record 3 outs. The Quakers are going to advance to a Monday matchup against either Dover or Tri-Valley.
Right fielder, number 2, Zoe DeVore.
So Zoe DeVore to lead off here in the seventh for New Philadelphia. Zoe.
Nice single in the last inning right down the right field line down here that bounced out.
Fly ball into right field and moving toward the catch. Addie Meyer for the first out.
Bringing to the plate first baseman, number 11, Olivia Jackson.
How to bring Olivia Jackson to the plate, the Quaker first baseman. Olivia 0 for 3 today. A pop out, couple of strikeouts. Cadill's first pitch to her, a swing and a miss. Well, for the Big Red Fortune, Olivia didn't connect. That would have sailed over that Big Red logo out in the middle of the center field's padded wall. The 0-1 pitch popped up, foul over the press box. No balls, 2 strikes. Cadill back on to the rubber. Jackson, Quaker first baseman, the pitch high for a ball. Looking ahead to Steubenville's half of the seventh. Number 9 in the batting order, Gina Smith in the top of the order with Sophia Zorni and Addie Meyer. The next pitch outside, perhaps a little high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The next pitch, a little outside, ball 3. After Jackson, the DP Kylie Jones waiting on deck. The 3-2 pitch fouled back and out of play. Olivia hanging with Isabella Cadill, 3-2. Cadill ready, Jackson ready. The pitch, a called strike 3 on the outside corner. So 2 outs in the Quakers, 7th.
Kylie Jones.
As Kylie Jones comes to the plate. Kylie in this game, 1 for 3, a single and 2 RBIs sandwiched in between. A pop out and a ground out. Well, when you're the DP, it goes without saying as Kylie takes a called strike. Your job is to hit, and boy, that 2-run single she had back in the third, Ricky really helped propel that third inning into a big frame.
Yeah, that got everything rolling for Quakers here.
The next pitch to Kylie, missing high for a ball. Cadill ready, the 1-1, and a slow roller. Cadill going to grab it, fire on to first base. They say they got her at first, and a bang, bang play. We head for the bottom of the 7th. New Philadelphia leading Steubenville. It's the Quakers 9, the Big Red 1 on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley.
Family owned and operated for more than 50 years, Dover Brake specializes in sales and service of everything involving automotive and heavy-duty brakes, along with a vast selection of truck parts and accessories. They also offer alignment, custom U-bolt bending, industrial sandblasting, bonding, and more. And now, you can find the parts you're searching for with a complete in-store inventory updated regularly at DoverBrakeInc.com. Safely shop and pay online and have your purchase delivered, or pick it up at Dover Brake, Route 250 in Strasburg, online at DoverBrakeInc.com.
New Philadelphia 3 outs away from advancing on in Division III tournament play as they lead Steubenville 9-1 for the Quakers. 1 run in the first, 5 in the third, 1 in the 5th, and 2 in the 6th. The Big Reds' only run coming on a single tally back in the first inning. Gina Smith to lead things off for the Big Red. Jillian Howard's first pitch to her, grounded to Cardani at second. She flips on to first in time. All 3 of Smith's at-bats have gone to second base, and Cardani has done a great job of fielding them, specifically on the second at-bat when she ripped a line drive and Sarah leaped and made a great grab. So back to the top of the lineup for the Big Red. Quakers 2 outs away from advancing. Sophia Zorni pops it up right to the shortstop, Sydney Vandal, who makes the grab. 2 outs in the Quakers. 1 out away from pulling what, honestly, if we're being honest, many people consider to be a surprise win here today. And that's no knock on the Quakers at all. But Steubenville, the higher seed, and New Philadelphia, to this point, has now it's going to be a pinch hitter for Steubenville. Jordana onto the plate. Jillian Howard's first pitch to her, a called strike on the outside corner. Boy, no pressure. Your team's down by multiple runs, and you come to the plate with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. The 0-1 pitch from Howard, that misses, perhaps a little bit low, 1-1. The next pitch, called strike on the outside corner. One ball, 2 strikes. The Quakers a strike away from advancing. The 1-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. And New Philadelphia has come to Steubenville and will be headed back to T County with a 9-1 win. Stand by, our high school softball post-game show is coming right up on the Sports Voice of the Valley.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the Wendy's $5 biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, junior hot and crispy fries, and small soft drink is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Unlimited time does not mean forever. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California and via third-party delivery. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
Dumont Sporting Goods in Dover and Canton has just what you're looking for, so your athlete has the best gear for the sports they play. Dumont's has a large apparel selection and can handle your customized screen printing as well as embroidery for your team or business. For sporting goods and for all your apparel needs, Dumont Sporting Goods in Dover and Canton has everything you want to play and look your best.
New Philadelphia, big tournament win in Steubenville today as they knock off the Big Red 9-1. I'm Bill Morgan with Ricky Neff, and Ricky, at the end of the day, you say something like, well, you know what, the Quakers got it done on just about all parts of the field. What did you like best about what Coach Dupke's team did today?
I was really impressed with they came out and hit the ball today, put lots of balls in play and just in the gaps, and were able to capitalize on getting runners in scoring position all day, and I think they did a fantastic job running the bases.
The Quakers with an 8-run victory. They will now advance on to further tournament action in D3 coming up on Monday, where they will take on the winner of the Dover Tri-Valley game. At last report, that game was scoreless in the 7th inning. And the scenario is this. If Dover wins that game again, it'll be on Monday. It'll be New Philly at Dover. And should Tri-Valley win, that game will be Monday as well, and that'll be at New Philadelphia. Big Z Sports and the Sports Voice of the Valley will continue to keep you updated. As our post-game show rolls on, more details, and we'll select our Subway Player of the Game. The Quakers topple Steubenville 9-1 on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley.
Big moments are coming. Are you ready? If you need sponsor banners, graduation programs, or yard sale signs, the East Central Ohio Print Center has you covered. Visit ecoprintcenter.org. And if you've got a new driver in the house, East Central Ohio ESC offers flexible driver's education with in-car training and online options. Scholarships are available from signs to steering wheels. The East Central Ohio Educational Service Center is here to help. Find out more today online at ecoesc.org.
The Eat Fresh refresh just won't stop. Now Subway is refreshing their catering with easy order platters and box meals perfect for any occasion. Start with sandwich or wrap platters. They're loaded with craveable crowd pleasers to feed your crew without all the work. Or try individually packaged box meals featuring a tasty 6-inch sub, footlong, or wrap, plus chips and a freshly baked cookie. When you have a group to feed, make it fun, delicious, and easy with catering from Subway. Visit Subway.com to place your catering order. Advance notice may be required.
The high school softball postgame show rolling on after a New Philadelphia 9-1 win. And that game on Monday, the opponent will be the Dover Tornadoes as Dover edges Tri-Valley in that score 1-0. How about this finish over at Dover City Park, Ricky? Dover wins on a wild pitch, bottom of the 7th, bases loaded, and 2 outs. And that winning run came in.
Wow. That's, don't see that very often.
You certainly don't, but it'll be the two big-time rivals, New Philadelphia and Dover. That will be played Monday at Dover City Park in the next round of the D3 tournament. I'm Bill Morgan with Ricky Neff. And, Ricky, when we look at the contributions of so many different players for New Philadelphia, it's kind of hard to single out one as our Subway Player of the Game. We're going to talk first about two people who are not going to get it, but at the top of the batting order, Sidney Vandal and Easton Miller were outstanding for John Dupke's team.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, Sidney Vandal put a lot of balls in play out there today and did exactly what she needed to do. Easton Miller was impressive at the plate also, putting everything in play here and making some impressive plays out there in center field for him.
But when you look at the performance in the circle today by Jillian Howard, she gave up 1 run, which was unearned, and only allowed 4 hits. Jillian Howard is our Subway Player of the Game. So congratulations to Jillian and all of the Quakers. Subway, find your fresh. We'll keep things locked on to the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley. We'll have broadcast coverage details for that game on Monday coming up in the next couple of days. Again, New Philadelphia wins here in Steubenville. Dover wins on a single run of the bottom of the 7th at Dover. It'll be the Quakers and the Tornadoes coming up Monday at Dover City Park. Our thanks to the team from Claxon Communications for doing all of the big work behind the scenes. Our color analyst, Ricky Neff, and most of all, thank you for locking in today as New Philadelphia knocks off Steubenville 9-1. I'm Bill Morgan, and I'll see you at a game.
You've been watching high school baseball and softball with Big Z Sports and WJER Radio in partnership with Claxon Communications. This broadcast was proudly sponsored by Dover Break, your local Wendy's restaurants, Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, Kemp Insurance, the ECO Educational Service Center, T-County Boxing Academy, and Dumont's. Special thanks to our scoreboard sponsor, your local McDonald's restaurants, and to Subway, sponsor of the WJER Subway Player of the Game. For unmatched high school sports coverage, follow Big Z Sports with WJER, the sports voice of the Valley.